Hi, I'm Eric Poulin.
And I'm Robin Poulin.
We're the co-founders of Calendar Budget, and welcome to the Calendar Budget Podcast.
I can pay cash, I can pay check, I can pay wire transfer, I can pay gift card, I can pay credit, I can pay anything you like. I can pay cash, I can pay check, I can pay wire transfer, I can pay gift card, I can pay credit, I can pay anything you like.
Okay, so we're here to talk about the allure of free.
Free is good.
A lot of times people will see things advertised as free, thinking they're getting a good deal. Sometimes they're getting a good deal, but maybe not always. Would you agree?
Yes. There are different types of free, and it could be misunderstood for what is labeled as free isn't actually free in the long run.
So, example, case in point, BOGO.
Yeah. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah. So people in the merchandising business, they call this BOGO. So if you hear BOGO, that's what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. Buy one, get one free. Actually means
50% off.
Yeah, it's just 50% off. They have enough margin that they're making on these products when they sell them so that they can afford to sell you two of them for the price of one, which really just means 50% off. So imagine if I'm selling it to you for 50% off, I must be making at least probably 70 or 80% margin to cover the 50% off, and then still on top of that make 20 or 30%. Yeah.
Right, once that discount came off. Yep.
So, I mean, shopping around is another way just to get things at a better deal, of course, but sometimes when you see the word free, it's not actually free.
And it depends on how much the item costs in the first place if you're going to shop around. If it's thousands of dollars, then it's worth the shop around for your time, cost of time, and transportation if you have to drive around anywhere. So if you're going to go grocery shopping and you're getting juice for $1 and it's like buy one, get one free, to go to 3 different stores to get the sale price because you need to get groceries at one store and then juice at another store, now you're wasting time and gas, which will increase the cost. Sure. In the long run, you're paying more.
For sure. Well, most of the time we're doing our comparison shopping online these days. You're not like driving around to find prices, but still driving around to get to the places is what you're talking about.
Both, yep.
Now, if you're like us, we use Amazon Prime for a lot of our shopping lately, except for groceries.
Yeah.
Do we buy anything that's not on Amazon now, that's not groceries?
The occasional things that
we buy archery equipment from an actual pro.
Maybe, or keyboard replacement. Sometimes we go into
Best Buy or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or clothing.
But even Best Buy, I order online now.
Yeah.
And then just pick up, so I don't have to pay the delivery.
And getting clothing in person to make sure it's going to fit right.
I haven't done that in a long time. I buy clothing online and just deal with it.
Yeah, that works for you. But
are you saying it works for guys and not girls?
It depends on the girl. If the girl knows the fit that they like and have a reliable source, then it will work.
I think we got away from our topic of free, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so BOGO, not always free, but it's more like a good deal. It's usually a good deal.
Yeah.
Because they are usually selling these things at the regular price. So good. Just don't confuse a good deal with actually free.
It's worth using if you are actually going to be buying that object in the first place, whether it's a sandwich or if it's clothing or shoes. And if you actually do need a second pair, if you don't need a second of whatever is going to be used, then why are you spending the extra money unless you have somebody else that you can give it to or resell it?
Yeah, this is another point entirely, which is very important, which is don't get sucked into a deal just because it's a deal. If you didn't need it when it wasn't on sale, you don't need it now that it's on sale.
Yes.
But we'll cover that in another topic. I mean, wants versus needs is a huge topic.
Yeah.
Huge topic. Okay, back to the topic of free. So we talked about BOGO, buy one, get one free. What about free trials?
Free trials, I love that. It gives me an opportunity to see if I'm going to like it and if it's worth investing my money in it, whether it's a tool or videos or
You see most of these things with like subscription services, Netflix, even Calendar Budget has a free trial. And it's a good way to try something out without committing money up front until you know that you're going to like this thing, and then you want to buy it. It's not like you're going into a store and you're like buying a saw or a hammer. You know what a hammer does. Everybody knows what a hammer does. You don't need a free trial for a hammer. But for new software, it might not suit your purposes. We have very specific needs these days, and software sometimes can get it completely wrong or get it completely right, or somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
And it's nice to be able to try it out first. But when you do free trials, sometimes you do it because, so I do this sometimes, if I have a very temporary need, maybe I only need something for the next few days, and they give me a 14-day trial, and I have in my mind, I'm just going to use the free trial, consume my need in the first few days, and then never use the service.
But what happens when the 14 days come? Do you remember to actually cancel the service
That's
if you haven't?
the key, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I always calendar it. So when I sign up for a free trial, as soon as I commit to the free trial, and I prefer ones that don't require my credit card up front.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to remember. But sometimes they do require it.
Yep. We get why they do it.
The reason they do it is because they want you to...
They hope you forget.
They hope you forget, and then a year later, you're looking at your credit card report and you're like, I've been paying for this for a year? Yeah, too bad.
Yeah.
But when I do have to give the credit card up front, I always go to my calendar and schedule it for the day before, because you never know what hour of the day, are they going to commit you to the thing.
Yeah.
Day before, and then make sure to cancel it. And put a link to the cancellation page, like right there in your calendar entry, so that it's just easy when you need to go do it.
Yep. Sometimes it's worth continuing with it, though. But definitely something like calendar budget that can help you plan ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of the trial, right? So I was just joking. I wasn't joking. I do that sometimes. I think everybody does this sometimes, where you plan to use your whatever you need it for in the first few days. Like if I'm doing video editing, I don't need to do video editing forever. It's like I have a project and it's short term. But for something like calendar budget, or for something like Amazon, it makes sense. Like you're going to use this long term. You're not using it for temporary thing, and then definitely, yeah.
You might start it with a project in mind, like editing this video today, or maybe you're planning for a wedding with your budget. And so you think, okay, I have the wedding done and over with now, it's planned, or the birthday party that I'm planning for, it's budgeted for, done. But then you find that, hey, this could be useful for other things. So where else can I use this service? And is it worth then the investment to help me in many different projects and not just the one that I intended in the first place?
Yeah, that can happen. But that's the beauty of the free trial, right? Is to really just test it out when you haven't committed yet.
Yeah.
But it gets back to that conversation that we'll have later about wants versus needs. Just because you discovered a made-up need for something doesn't mean you might actually need it. And you got to just be careful, because those subscriptions, they can build up, and because they're not in your face, and you're not, they're automated every month or every week. There's a amount coming out. If you don't keep on top of it, yeah, pretty quick it adds up, right?
You may find other software or apps that could do what you intended on doing, instead of end up using 3 different apps to accomplish something that you can consolidate and save some costs that way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next topic on free. Here's the scenario. You're driving down the road and there's a sign on a piece of furniture. Take me, free.
Or a bike.
Or whatever it is it happens to be that you need. Again, do you need this? Did you need it before you saw the sign, or you're just taking home junk? Because we've had junk taken home before, and then it's just a hassle. And sometimes you have to pay to get rid of it.
I have learned, and at the same time, I have this need to not see things go to waste. I hate things going to landfill or anything like that are in perfect condition. Maybe I can find use for somebody else. But then that's my time invested as well to help somebody else. If I have somebody in mind in the first place, then that works.
That's different. And you should get their permission, because people don't want you delivering junk to their doorstep.
Exactly.
Right? People have some people don't like used things.
Yeah.
I like, for example, you should never get a used mattress.
Yeah, definitely
right?
not.
Because you never know what happened. There could be bed bugs or whatever you're bringing into your house. But it can be good. Free things we've used I think our first, was it a bed frame? Or it was
No.
a dresser or something?
Dresser.
Was it
And
a dresser?
couches. We only just bought a
It was
couch
a couch.
later on in our marriage.
Yeah.
So
Our first couch was a freebie on the side of the road. It was in good shape. It hadn't rained.
yeah.
I remember that one because I almost freaked out when we
And
couldn't
it
get it in.
didn't fit in our house, but
Yeah.
it fit in your parents' house, and it came to use later
Yeah.
when we ended up
Yeah.
staying there for a couple of weeks, waiting for our house to be
So the
built.
point is, sometimes one man's trash is another
man's
man's
treasure.
treasure. But sometimes one man's trash is another man's trash.
Yes.
And so don't bring home junk, because then you're invested in getting rid of this or cluttering up your house, and that can mess with just your feng
Yeah.
shui or whatever it is that you consider about how you feel about junk being around. But for me, I like a clean environment.
It could be a fun project, though, if you want something to work on together, or even just yourself, a distraction from some of the stresses. If you like being creative, it could be a fun outlet where you've seen these videos online where they take a piece of furniture and they do some refinishing of it, de-stressing paint, and turn it into some antique-looking shelf for your new bathroom
Yeah,
sink
you're
to
going
go
to
on and stuff
refurbish
like
it
that.
or repurpose it. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. If you have time.
Yes.
But we're entrepreneurs. Time is an illusory thing that doesn't exist. We don't have time. So
Yeah.
you just got to be careful about, if you have time, sure, make use of free stuff.
And your circumstances change. So as the kids have gotten older, maybe they want to be, you want a project to work on with them. And so
True.
it could be something fun
Yeah,
to do
could be.
together.
Yeah. So for the camera, we have 5 kids.
Yeah.
They're all
Teenagers.
in their teens now. Well, is Amelia a teen?
20.
She's 20, so she's just escaped the teen. But our youngest is 15, almost 16, and the
3
rest
more
of
in
them are
between.
18, 19, 19, and 20. Set of twins in there, obviously, and
Yeah.
we made it somehow. Anyway,
You learn to be frugal because you want to be able to supply the needs of your family and to be able to have some fun little projects and stuff
Yeah.
to work on the way.
you know what? And you're right about the stages of life, because what we would have considered in our young marriage with a young family,
Yeah.
we would have taken free stuff. Yes, please, thank you.
Loathing.
Because that's when you're starting your career and money is scarce,
Yeah.
and all those free things are welcome. Now we're a little older, we're a little wiser, and a little bit more refined taste,
Mm-hmm.
and we're willing to save for something that's a little nicer than something that might be free on the side of the road. It all depends.
I find myself now wanting to pay it forward more for all the people who have been generous to us to say, hey, we're downsizing or our kids have outgrown this clothing. Could you use it? Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
Now I want to help other people that are in that situation.
When we're getting rid of stuff and we put it on Facebook Marketplace, almost always it's free.
Yeah.
Listed as free. Or like $2. We just want to get a
firm
popsicle
Yeah.
for out of it or something. But yeah, more than that is a firm pickup, because free things people will commit and then not show up, and you got your days stuck with this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, next topic. What about free information? You're online, you see something that's interesting, you sign up for the free newsletter or for the free information, the free white paper, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you stuck with?
Emails. Upon
So
emails
many
upon
emails. Thousands.
That could clutter.
I don't know about you, but we have a service with Google, so we use Gmail. We have a service that tells us how many emails we get in a month. It's ridiculous. I did the math one time. I get about 580 emails a day.
Oh my.
That's untenable. You can't handle it.
No.
When I wake
But-
up in the morning, I spend the first 5-10 minutes delete emails, just deleting them, and I just only look at the subject line. I don't even open it unless I know what it is and what if it's interesting. So yeah, getting subscriptions to these things can be a huge suck of your time. They can be useful.
You can
sometimes.
filter them so that it marks it as read or it puts it in a
Yeah.
certain folder so that this resource is usually good information and you're not going to be working on that project at this time, so you might want to use it at a later time and
Yeah.
just use it later.
Yeah, that's true. Just be careful, because that free information quickly turns into a free sales pitch. And the information is not very dense anymore. Suddenly the free information becomes just sales pitch every day. I've seen that from a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Just, and they're just, the emails that they give you now are just clickbait.
Yeah.
There's no meat to the content. It's just they want you to click on it, and then when you go through, you're immediately at a sales page, and you don't get any value out of it anymore.
Again, I think it comes with the cycle of whatever you're working on, that sometimes it is more like clickbait because you're no longer working on that project or no longer in the mindset of working on that type of activity. So,
but you can always unsubscribe. Like, bottom of the email, every email should be an unsubscribe. And companies are supposed to honor those. Most of them do. There's a few ones out there that are not quite on the up and up, but Okay, last one. Sometimes free means you get low quality. Sometimes free can end up costing more than if you paid for something.
Yeah.
Right? So if I have a need for widget X and I get a free one, great, that fills my need. But then as I use it, I have to put all these extra resources into maintaining it, or doing, for example, maybe you get a free car. What does that mean? A free car means junk, right?
Gas, insurance,
maintenance, repairs. A free car isn't going to be in the best quality.
Taxes for ownership.
Exactly. Sometimes getting a free car is worse than getting a good quality used car. Pay a little bit more up front for something that's in good shape, and you have to put a lot less money into maintaining it, and time, because time is money as well.
Yep.
So, got to be careful. Free doesn't mean free always. Sometimes free means expensive, time consuming, and can be a big problem.
Like those phone calls you get that says, would you like a free vacation? All you have to do is sit and listen to this infomercial.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you invest and you think, yeah, we'll definitely go on vacation. We definitely need vacations. And then you find that you never use it because you don't have time to.
Yep, good way to...
Or it's too far away.
Burn money.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, there's the allure of free for you. Sometimes free is great, but sometimes free is not great. Sometimes it's... the allure of it can be more of a trick than what we think we're getting in terms of value. So just be wary. Think about the things that we've talked about. I'm sure our audience will have some things that we didn't think of that, comes across their minds when they think of free, that sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not.
There's one suggestion I would make then, would be to take a piece of paper or even Google Doc or something like that, especially if you're going to make decisions together with somebody else. A Google Doc's awesome, where you can have future access to it and share the doc between each other. Then make a list of pros and cons, a list of all the expenses associated to it, and then you can decide if it's really going to be worth the investment.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Be wary of free. And we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
I can pay cash, I can pay check, I can pay wire transfer, I can pay gift card, I can pay credit, I can pay anything you like. I can pay cash, I can pay check, I can pay wire transfer, I can pay gift card, I can pay credit, I can pay anything you like.